I said, hey, yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Mojados, and we back for an update on XRP. So, if you guys have not been tuned in, I've been making monthly updates, and we're going to jump right into what to expect from the BTC XRP chart, XRP dominance chart, the market cap chart, and the actual price, okay? There's a lot to unpack here, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys everything you need to know about what's to come for XRP, okay? Now, we know there is a lawsuit pending on XRP because it stops US buyers from essentially providing that extra liquidity that helps the market move, right? Whether it's up or down, we know that the price of XRP is suppressed, right? And when we look at it from a macro, it's just like, this is absolutely beautiful, okay? And before I jump more into the macro, I just want to share that I do daily updates on my channel for XRP every single day, Monday through Friday. I share what's happening with the price chart of XRP, and on my Twitter as well, I do share some things. And I just shared recently again, this area I was pretty much calling a low from 34 cents, and we ran up 10% since then. Had a beautiful high here, and I basically said, hey, listen, I'm taking some profits here. And what we saw unfold from that same area, I said take profits, is a wick. And then I also said in the daily market update that we're going to bounce from these lows, and we did. So for all my XRP army folks out there, I'm giving you guys the tea and sharing entries and exits that are not financial advice, but it's something to pay attention to increase that bag. And so basically what I'm going to do for this right now is take a look at the macro and then zoom into the micro on this chart here. So what we can see essentially is that XRP is extremely suppressed. We all know it's suppressed. We all know that JP Morgan, the SEC, it doesn't want Ripple to succeed because they know they will lose a lot of leverage in the banking space. And so what we see here is basically absolute porn, okay? And what I mean by that is that this chart is set to explode, and because it's the weekly time frame, things do take a long time to essentially play out, okay? But even if you were to assume this is like a range, it's very, very possible, right? This can be one big ass range, okay? And so I believe that we're most likely set to move soon, but there are zones in between that have to play out, okay? And what I have here in the red is, I think this is a 6 month or a 9 month. Let me pull it up, see if I can find it. Yeah, it's a 3 month zone that essentially held up really well. And that was probably the most important area on the chart, because look how many taps we saw there, right? If we go over here, this is also a thread on my Twitter. Look how many taps, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times we hit this area to basically confirm whether the trend's going to go up or down. And unfortunately, we broke down from that area. And this was an area that we were supposed to hold, but we didn't. And it sucks, but it's okay. There's a bigger story to this, right? And it's basically playing out as we're watching it. And what we're seeing now is that we're fell into the next zone, and that zone is this 6 month demand zone right here, right? So this is the area that is gray, and what we're doing is we're sitting in between it, okay? And since we're sitting in between it, that's why we have bounced off of it, because it's a strong buy zone. And what we're seeing is buyers are pretty much stepping up, right? We didn't hit the lower end of this demand zone, which is essentially a good thing, because like anything else, the less that we retrace, the more bullish it is, right? So it's a great thing all across, and we're just watching it, okay? I think that we're probably going to see a move up to 55 cents, but because we broke through that region, it pains me to say it that let's see here, it pains me to say it that we're probably going to come revisit these highs in red and probably have a rejection, right? So that's something to pay attention to, that we come up to these highs here and then we reject. Now, depending on how we get up there will definitely vary vastly, right? If we see a lot of momentum running into that red zone, then that will change my opinion, okay? If we see a big impulse, that will change my opinion. But because the impulse leading down into this zone just makes me believe that we're probably not going to get the kind of retracement back up to here that we expect, one that leads to all-time highs, right? It's probably going to be a kind of retracement that leads to another sell-off, right? And what that would look like is probably something like this and then continue going back down, right? And it pains me to say it. I love XRP, but I'm just looking at the chart. This is the like what it looks like at the moment. The RSI is not really super bullish, guys. You don't really look at or see a RSI like this at, you know, a chart that's ready to run. I guess maybe if you look at the monthly, one can argue, but it has a lot of work to do before we can get really bullish on this. So I'm not ruling it out, but just looking at the RSI, it looks like it needs to do a lot of work. And if we did break the zone, I think that 24 to 19 cents is another area where we can buy. So that is something to pay attention to. But the overall range of this whole entire chart is from let's see here, from 12 cents to $2, and that's a crazy range. And the reason why this range is so beautiful is because we see again, this looks like to me like a trap for of course our long buyers. And what we saw is people buy and of course get stuck holding the bag up there, and then we ran these lows here, and these lows were basically again you know, people who are shorting and of course get stuck again and then get stopped out on the way all the way back up to the range highs here, and now we're chopping in between. The big question is that from these lows here, do we continue going back up, right? And that's what basically we're watching, right? And this is not even the log time frame, just kills me. Does not show a clear retracement, but what we're seeing here is that this essentially is you know, retracing at the moment, and we're just again watching it to see how it plays out, because this is again level by level inside of a range. We don't have a clear idea of even how to break this down from an Elliott wave perspective. So what we're doing is again just chilling out, watching it level by level, and just seeing if we can build momentum up. Again, for those who are watching my daily market updates, you guys are already ahead of the game, because they are aware, and this is again for the people who are watching the daily market updates, they are aware that we are in a range right now at this current moment. This is a deviation, and I even warned you know, my daily watchers that, hey, watch out, this retraced at 61.8 regions, so we're probably going to run up here. And that was like a sniper call. We did get a beautiful run up, and of course I did get to exit some right up here and just buying right back when we got lower to stack up them XRP tokens, which is nice. And I do think that we run up to 46 cents in the short term, because this is again a range high. We got to run up liquidity, stop up everybody, make sure that everyone loses. That's what again these markets are, right? Stopping out everybody, tricking the longs, tricking the shorters, and taking money from every single angle, because this game is all liquidity. Everyone is just chasing liquidity. The market makers want you to have no money. So you just got to be careful and just be real patient and you know, strategic on how you decide to move. So again, for the short term, it looks like we have some upside, but for the longer term, it looks like that upside is basically a bearish move. We are sitting inside of a big range, so that's just something to look out for. And looking at the XRP BTC chart, this is something interesting, because we are essentially building up some volume here, and it looks like to me we're probably going to get a breakout soon. Okay, I don't know which way this breaks out. I'm assuming it breaks to the upside. That doesn't mean that XRP does amazingly well, but what it can mean is that it outperforms BTC. That's all this XRP BTC chart means. It just means that XRP is outperforming BTC. It could be BTC falling 10% and XRP dropping 9%. This would push this chart up because it's holding better than Bitcoin. So yeah. And another thing to note, guys, is that XRP is extremely explosive in price action. There's not really price action that is, you know, super clear, because every single move, even if you look at the USD chart, is explosive, right? You just see big moves, fast moves. You don't really see much moves where price goes sideways and then it goes up a little bit and it goes sideways. No, you don't see that, right? It's mostly a chop, right? Even over here, this uptrend is so choppy. It does look impulsive still, but it's still choppy. Like, it's just not clear. You can't really subdivide it pretty well. And again, it's just slow and grueling. Okay. And that's the same for this chart here. So we just got to watch closely and just monitor it, right? And then even looking at this market cap chart, I thought this was really interesting as well, because what you see here is, again, we're at support and we're probably going to start moving up from here. But it will most likely be a bearish retest to probably like 24 billion market cap, or maybe a little bit higher, maybe 30 billion. So that's something to watch. And the XRP dominance chart is another chart that, you know, I don't put too much weight on, but it's something to watch closely, because most of these things move very fast and they happen very quickly. Like, you can see a new all-time high be made in 1 month, and then after that the price just completely dumps. So it's something to watch very closely. And yeah, you know, make sure that you have a plan before it happens, because these things happen very, very quickly. So, you know, be patient, watch these charts, make sure you have a plan where you're exiting, you know, and what you'll do if it keeps dropping, because at the end of the day, nothing is guaranteed. These things can move super fast in either direction, but we know where the future of XRP lies, right? People like to hate, but we got a lot of developments from a fundamental side, but I don't want to get into that because this is purely TA. So next zones you want to watch out for is 24 and 19. We might see a run up to 55 here. Maybe I might cover some longs, but we'll see what happens. And if you guys don't want to miss any updates, you can feel free to follow me on Twitter. And as always, haro, haro, haro. Peace.